much for connecting with me. Polina here, talking to you about the full moon on the 6th of September in Pisces. Wow, I'm in Poland again, and I'm in love with it. I just been to Austria, and I've come back to Poland, and it's just fantastic. Fantastic. I love Polish people, I love Polish food, I love Poland. So, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you and this incredible moon on the 6th of September, and it is in Pisces. You might already kind of tell where it's all going. You might already kind of see, oh, I get really angry about this kind of thing, or I've actually got a new set of ideas, or I've got this new kind of like place in my heart. I've actually got this new little thing, and it is as hidden as you want it to be, but it's there. And if it's there, and there's like a little itch and a little knowing inside that kind of wants something different from life, or requires a new spectrum of possibility, it's not going to change. It is not going to change, and it won't walk yourself out into a field and make you come back. So what I mean is, whatever you're feeling here, or whatever you're experiencing likely, isn't going to just take you for a ride and return you back, unless you really want to stay in the previous job or in the previous circumstance. And here is the thing. If you are trying to stay behind and you're wishing for things to be gone, and if you're going through an emotional feeling or like an emotional upheaval, and you're like, oh my God, I just want it to be gone. I just want it to be gone. I want to be still. I want to be just like things were, because it is very likely that just before the recent changes, you've been in a pretty good place. But here, after the new moon on the 21st of August, the full moon on the 6th offers us nothing but the truth. And this is an interesting time for such a moon, as it is in Pisces, which basically means the bridger of worlds. So anything is true, anything is possible. But in this type of energy, it feels to me that the moon becomes a clear symbol of connection with all things through space and time, with no need to attach any feeling and any thought, any emotion to anything else that is not useful. So I've talked about this month before, that Virgo is creating this month into a really nice package for us. And it's not about what you'd like to do and what you think you may need to do or who you thought you were. It is basically about the here and now. It's about an efficient way forward without any stagnation. It is not about trying, it is not about wanting, it is about being, and being enough as you are here and now. With this type of moon in Pisces, you might think, but this washes things out. No, it doesn't, not this time. It feels to me that Pisces has been building up for the last week to really catch things out. That's not true. This is not true. That's not ever, no, that's not ever gonna be. That doesn't make sense. Or this is not what I'd like to see in this world. And Pisces is the universal dreamer. It is the connection between worlds. It's between possibilities, and it's between the spoken and the unspoken. It's between the lines, and it's between false and truth, and also between matter and void. So with me looking at this moon now, I feel that there's going to be a definite, and Pisces moon with this energy is almost like the mastermind, the grand master energy that just looks almost from a pedestal down upon all the different aspects and says, that goes, that goes, that goes, that goes. If you can imagine somebody looking at a tray of seedlings and knowing that some of them are not going to survive and just picking them out just like that. That's the kind of frequency that I'm feeling. It is almost like beyond space and time. It's like this giant, giant cosmic frequency might, if you're open for it, hook up to you, especially if you've got a lot of Pisces in your chart, looks over like a big cloud and sees, I'm not emotional here, I'm just me, and I can see. And I'm even beyond that. I am almost knowing that there is nothing between you and the future. There is nobody between you and another person. There is nothing between you. And you might even see that this full moon surprises you by wanting to make the shift and being really, really honest and open. Say, for example, if you're like me and you got people in your past that you don't talk to but you think about a lot, you might just call them up and say, look, I know this, I don't think so, and I don't think so, but do you want to maybe have a coffee with me? Or it might go, Look, I know we've been on and off for a while, and I can see it, but here's where I am, and here's where you are. So this is a really efficient time to take care of things, and also to know that there's a lot of patterns and a lot of mistakes that we've made in the past due to us not wanting to see what we already did. It's like, you know, that part of your consciousness that already kind of recognizes the love of your life before they even walk in the room. Like the room goes silent and you're like, there's gonna be, yeah, okay, yeah. Or the piece of you that already knows that you're going to get the job before you get the job, you know, or the piece of you that knows I'm not going to make it. Like say I'm going to a competition or I'm going to some kind of like event, I'm not gonna make it. And it's not like negative and it's not positive. It's just like quantum. It's quantum understanding. So it feels to me, if you go with that quantum mind as it is building up to the full moon now, you might understand something more. And that something more is that you are and you can go for it without the middleman stuff, without, you know, the familiarities, without, you know, trying to glue it together. It's like, I like somebody, do I wait till they call me? You know, it's like you went on the first date. It's like, do I wait? You know, do I call them? Do I wait for them to call me? Do I call them? Here is almost like, you just know, it's a quantum thing. It's like you don't have to wait for anything. You don't have to go through any kind of protocol. The protocol is cutting itself out. So it's almost like, I just knew that person was right for me. And it's not about, is he into me? Is he right for me? Or is she right for me? Is she interested in me? Do you think that she might want to spend some time? It's almost like, that's right and that's wrong. Also, we are here in the last few degrees of Jupiter and Libra, and it may be that you are going to get more noticeable by the people that are right for you, and also you might get a lot more stroppy about your needs and also welcoming of people. So it's not really about waiting for somebody to show up or playing this game of courtship as just like, you're right for me, I think we're right for each other, let's go on a holiday together, or let's move in. So it's like really, really quick situations, really, really quick, even confusing experiences where people are just like, I don't know what it is, you just are. And this is a really, really freaky time, I feel, for me especially, because things are becoming so quick and clear that it is telling me in my heart that something's wrong. And sometimes we can also we can also create this feeling as well if we are using our mind too much. So for example, if you are like me and you are quantum in the mind, but you are not allowing your heart to truly feel and truly evolve, that can be really hard as well, because the mind goes, la la la, that's gonna happen, and Virgo stimulates the mind like nothing else. So you might actually see a revamp of your psyche and your nervous system, and it might feel too good not to use. And sometimes at the same time, I feel there's an evolving part of us underneath the surface, and it's a really smoldering energy. It's like a really sticky, goopy energy that has to be heard as well. So that part of us that goes, I don't care, I don't want to see anybody. And that's a really Piscean thing as well. I don't want to see anyone. I actually really don't care which way it goes. I would stay in bed forever if I could. I don't really need anybody to know who I am. I don't actually need to question myself anymore publicly. I don't want people to know what I'm up to. I don't need to status update anything. I don't want people to know who I am. I don't want people. I don't want people to look at my direction. I don't want people to understand me. I don't want people to control me. I don't want people to confuse me. I just want to be inside my own little space, and I want to evolve by myself. We've had a big heart reform, and as I've actually seen online, also people saying that they've been experiencing heart palpitations and things like that. So because we're going through heart reform, there might be this goopiness that's needed sometimes. Like, I just want to not see you. I don't want to see anybody. So there's a really interesting contradiction here between calling the shots and knowing exactly what sequence is which, knowing exactly what's a waste of your life and what's not, knowing exactly what's efficient and what isn't, knowing how you know. It's just, you just do. This really interesting phenomena is happening to me now as well, is things are just clear. Things are just clear and obvious. But at the same time, there will also need to be some space and time to create a cocoon and not to care. So this is an interesting idea, but I feel that when you are sleeping or when you are tired, give it time to relax and refrain from any social interaction, because sometimes we can get this buzz and this huge wave that just carries us forward automatically into what we know and like pure clarity and pure experience and pure interaction, But then there comes a wave where we're just like, you know, scrolling through Facebook because it's there, or, you know, we're thinking about things because they're there. So it's a really important thing, I feel, towards bedtime, towards sleep, to just disconnect completely and dislocate. No more people, no more phone, no more nothing. Just to be able to smother yourself into a cocoon-like state, to just smooth everything over and become like, for some reason I want to say the sun, to become like this energy that's needed right now, which I feel is depth. So not to get over enticed and overexcited into knowing and calling the shots. I also feel that there's going to be a lot of condescending looks actually during this moon, as people are trying to tell you who you are and where you need to be. That's a really interesting thing, because it feels to me that we're all branching out into our own dream, and occasionally when this happens, people will be very condescending about it. The only thing I would like to say is that if you are on that side where you are being condescended, it is not so good to listen until you can kind of see that they are also you. It's an interesting thing, because quite frequently during these types of shifts, people can give us advice as if they're giving it to themselves. But hearing yourself talk inside isn't fun, and sometimes you're waiting for another person to say it. So even if it's dark and kind of tumultuous, sometimes listening to what people say and seeing you can be kind of helpful. So it's a really good time for readings. But however, if you are on the condescending side, if you're on the side that condescends another person, be very careful of that. And basically, because you can blueprint yourself into a similar situation where you then experience the other side of it. So being a situation where you're not knowing and somebody else looks at you and goes, God damn it, just figure it, look, just do this and do that, ha ha ha. Like, I won't give you the information, I will just watch you crumble and fall. So anything towards looking at people like puppets, because it feels to me like the mastermind is taking over, and that way of controlling the world through mind is open now. Yeah, so controlling reality, controlling people's thoughts, controlling people's consciousness, being in each other's business is happening. And it is happening to me as well. And I'm noticing myself doing this really, really clearly lately. And I've actually noticed that what I've been doing for a couple of years now is telepathic communion with people. But I never thought it was real, and I've actually done it since I was a little child. But recently I've actually started to see that these people are scared of me energetically, because they kind of know that when Paulina comes in as an energy, she just pulls things like this, and that doesn't give me any thoughts. It doesn't give me any thoughts, and it doesn't give me any vulnerabilities. It just makes me something that I'm not. And this is opening for many of us now. So this ability to come in and to touch somebody and to pull them into your vortex, or to give them an idea, using telepathy and using mind control with people is becoming possible now. And I fear that many people don't understand that it is, so they might, like, say, walk up to a person in the astral, tap them on the shoulder and scream at them, or get really angry, or get really, really upset about something, not knowing that that person can hear them even before they did that. So it is not a good thing to possess another person. It is not a good thing to practice telepathy and try to push any buttons with people, especially if you're already kind of knowing that you've got an effect. I am going to do something, because I've been practicing things for a really long time, but I just didn't think it was real till like last couple of years. So because it's getting really intense for me with mind control and telepathy, I might have to completely simmer it down. So if you're like me, and you've been working with people, you think about people, you walk into their dream time, you walk into their mind, you work with them when they're sleeping, something that I've done as part of my work as well. Do not do it. Do not do it. And if you can, resolve it. Just say, it's not about them, it's about me. It's about me. So for example, if a person doesn't call me, and I can walk into their mind and be like, hey, so we need to negotiate this, you need to call me. So instead of doing that, just see, they're not calling me because I'm not calling me. So this is a metaphor for me. This is not having to be any kind of controlled experience. Or for example, if you are seeing, oh my gosh, these people are doing these things, I'm going to put a message into their brain, or I'm going to communicate, don't do that, because it's going to get really messy. So you see like something is pissing you off and you're seeing that these people are bothering you and you want to walk into their heads and, you know, vibrate something. It's not so good. So if you're like me and you've been working with this type of thing for a while, it's not good to do that. So if you're seeing, okay, I can walk into these people's heads and vibrate a message, even if it's like a worthy thing, it's like a political thing, I'm going to inform Trump, or I'm going to tell Obama about this, or I'm going to walk into this person's head, like Princess Harry's head, and try to tell them about the world. No, 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 it's not good. And I've actually had a lot of that happen to me on the other side as well, as I'm feeling that you guys are getting stronger and your telepathic messages are really strong. So I can actually hear you yelling. And sometimes, you know, like say if you get angry at me in one of my videos, I can hear it. And if you also get sad, or if you get really, really this or that, I can hear it really loudly. So it feels to me, because time is thinning, everything's changing, it'll be really, really nice not to give that too much thought, and see if you, for example, feel like approaching somebody and energetically or telepathically informing them on something. It might be really nice to see you are just talking to yourself. So like, I'm talking to me. What do I want to inform me on? Because any kind of possession of another person through the ether, any kind of astral fighting, astral navigation through wanting to commute with somebody, wanting to be a couple with somebody, sending them thoughts all the time, or wishing for them to come back, or anything like that, that basically becomes a nightmare, and that does not give either person like a way out of it. So it is really, really important not to do. And a new thing that I've actually just started recently is knowing that when I can hear somebody in my head, when I'm going to approach somebody, I tell them goodbye. I tell them goodbye. I tell them goodbye, and I also understand that if it's not real, if it's not in the physical, in the here and now, it's not real. You know, people are like, I can't stop thinking about this person. I can't stop thinking. Quite often people have these really interesting souls, have these really interesting relationships and interactions on a different plane, while in physicality, they're not doing anything. And this is the twin flame phenomena as well, because people are not really wanting to work with each other, and there's a lot of tragedy, tragic experiences that I've seen people create for themselves through the twin flame phenomena, because like after a while it disintegrates, and quite likely it does, because it doesn't actually hold enough light, that type of grid, but that's probably something I should talk about in a different video. And the people in that relationship on both sides, especially sometimes on one side, can suffer. There's a lot of storm and turbulence there, as one person might be launching a thought and comes back to them and launch it again and it comes back to them and becomes a cycle. It's not so good here. So the freshest thing that I've found is to say goodbye, because everything that comes back to you, people from the past, people from the future, oh my god, I can't get this person out of my head, oh my god, why did you say this to me, why did that happen, mom, dad, why this happened, when you're doing that, you're basically limiting, you're constructing yourself, you are using your psyche in a really small sense, when it could be expanded through space and time. When you expand, you realize you don't exist. Neither do these people. You don't exist. So don't construct and don't constrict, and don't entice yourself into using this incredible awakening to work with just each other. Where is my twin flame? I remember I dated this guy 2 years ago and I really want him back. It doesn't work. Don't use anything. If it's not in front of you, it's not part of you. That's the thing to remember. If it's not in front of you, it's not part of you. So have a look now, because it is so easy to see way out. And I'm sorry, like I'm sure that a lot of astrologers say, oh, Pisces moon. Say it, do it, be it, say what you want, and the universe will provide. It's not about wanting, and it's not about consuming. It's not about asking God or the universe to give you anything. You're already given. You're already given. You're going to be given just as much as you need. You don't need to ask, you don't need to beg, you don't need to pray. You are. The prayer that you have is different than perhaps what I have. Because when we pray, sometimes people don't know what to ask for. It's almost like a genie in a bottle. Oh, you know, like rub the lamp, the genie comes out, I got 3 wishes. That's not the right choice. The better choice here, I feel, is to say thank you, being thankful, and also being maybe even a little bit sorry. Like say, I'm sorry I've got too much clothes, I bought too much clothes. I'm so sorry that I've actually mistaken this person for someone they weren't and I yelled at them last week. I'm very sorry, I'm very sorry, I'm very sorry. And then after that sorry feeling goes away by itself, you'll see, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. And then that will build you up eventually to, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And then I'm receiving, I'm receiving, I'm receiving. So it's more like energetic upbuilding instead of give me, give me, give me, give me. So do not ask for anything on this full moon. Just have a look at how you can not be a fool and connect to yourself through what you have in your physical reality and what you know is real. What are the facts? How old are you? You know, where do you live? Do you like where you live? You know, do you have things? Do you have too many things? What are your parameters? Like, with me, I'm in Poland, you know, and I'm in a tiny room with 2 beds in it, and I'm enjoying myself a lot, and I'm going to go out to the gym that's right next door, and I know it is right next door because it's physical, so keeping things physical, because this is a really practical month. And what sometimes happens is when we have an unpractical life, meaning we work too hard, you know, we make money, we spend money on stupid things, we don't love ourselves, we don't have love and kindness in our homes, when we're not happy, we're not sure, sometimes from that we need to escape. And it's like, oh, full moon Pisces, you know what that means? Anything's possible. And this means I want this, and I want this, and I want this. I'm going to imagine my pure, like, twin flame person, and I'm going to try and make this happen, and I want to win the lottery, and I want to win all these things. I want to have everything more. I want more. So on top of what you have that you can't deal with, you want more, and you want more, and you want more. So the best part, the better part of this moon is to say, I don't actually need anything. Like, I don't need anything. A Pisces, letting go, lost, 12th house. I don't need anything. Okay, maybe, you know, I don't need to work so hard. Maybe I don't need to have, say, for example, 20 pairs of pants. I only need 3 pairs of pants. And in my case, it's not like, I don't need 3 pairs of pants. I need 1 pair of pants. Doesn't matter. So it's like you're looking at your world, you're looking at the junk that you've accumulated, and the best part is, what are these things telling me about me? What is my 3D world telling me about me? How do I deal with the 3D world and create that into my dream? And it's not about control. It's not about control over the 3D. It's just like, how do I integrate the 3D in my heart, in my field? How am I going to evolve through the 3D? What do these things mean? What does this bed that I'm sitting on mean? What does this lamp mean? What does this computer mean? Like, what do I mean to me? Like, how do I feel about me? Perhaps I've, you know, gained a little bit of weight. Maybe I should go for a run, you know, like that kind of thing. Very nice to merge. Very nice. Very nice to merge the physical, the practical, and the spiritual and emotional. So trying to get those together, it's like, well, you know, I gained a little bit of weight. That's, you know, just a physical thing. But emotionally, you know, I feel kind of good about it. You know, I feel kind of good about it. I feel kind of weirdly good. But then, like, practically I'm feeling, but I would like to see more shining and more energy in my body. And emotional is like, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay. So imagine this bridge, this building a bridge between heart and the mind, but it's not even a heart and the mind. It's between spirit and physical. Sound like the same thing, but they're not. So spirit and physical, how do you merge them together? It's like, wow, you know, I have lots of things, and I'm sure some people would love to have some of those things. You know, wow, you know, I've created this life, but I'm not sure if I need all of this. I would like to give some of it away. Or, wow, you know, like, I have this beautiful person next to me, but they don't understand me. But that's okay. Maybe we just need to spend some time. So trying to be kinder here, not to pull too many strings. And seriously, the most humble people in this period, even though we can kind of get the cosmic computer mind, we can see what works and what doesn't work really easy, the humble people, the people that are like, I need just love, you know, I need simple things. I actually would not want anything else. I just want to feel something, you know, I just really want to feel something. I want to build my life out of feeling. And, you know, God, like, give me strength. Like, God, give me courage. Oh my gosh, like, where am I going in my life? These people are the people that are going to get the most out of this transit. Not the people that are like, I'm telepathic, I always knew that. I'm going to, you know, call up my ex-girlfriend and tell her how I feel about it. You know, I'm going to manifest a new girlfriend now that's much better than you. You know, people that are using this system of connection for trying to teleport, you know, trying to make things appear out of thin air, wishing for bigger gain, wishing for money, are not going to get it. They are, but they're not going to go through it it feels to me that there is, this is just the last couple of things, like a portal that is created here. And we've just had our hearts refurbished, the new moon, Leo. And the portal is, where is the light? Like, where is the light? And not all that glitters is gold, you know what I mean? Where is the light? Where am I enlightened? What enlightens me? What lights me up? Where is it that I'm actually vibrating to truth of myself? And the best part of this is to go through the physical and through the practical. Connection with spirit is important too. And you're just going through and you're finding, where do I feel good? Where is it? Not like, I want a house, I want a boat. You know, Jesus, give me a lover. You know, it's not like that. It's just like, actually, I really like to be by myself sometimes, and I really like to eat raw food, and I think I need to, you know, fix my digestive tract. I feel I'm a little bit tired, and I would like to give myself more love. You know, the humble pursuits, you open a little tiny door that can blow up into a whole world. You know, you end up in like a little opening. You think, I'm just going to do a couple of things and I'm going to sort out my drama. And I'm going to call that person and say, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to, you know, throw away a few things. Karmic things, you know, giving away things, letting things fly, forgiveness, you know, just allowing people to be themselves. Anything knocks through the ether, just say, you know, go away. It's okay. I'm physical. I'm a physical person. I don't need to know about anybody else, you know. And then there might be really nice few things that happen to you. But because it's an incredible moon, an incredibly forging time, you sometimes can, by wanting things from the heart that are completely honest, commit to something that looks tiny, blows up huge. Tiny, like, I just wanted to, you know, I just wanted to, you know, for example, finally marry my girlfriend, you know? And then you actually find, for some reason, that brings about a current of events where you together are chosen to go on this amazing trip and get given like a free honeymoon. Like, crazy, you know? Or like, I just wanted to give a few of my things away and make sure that I don't have any drama, you know, in the afterlife, meaning I don't want any more drama in my psyche. I just wanted to tell this person that I really love them and I want them to be happy. Then somebody else just appears, you know? So it's not something that looks real or tangible at first, but it feels to me that we're in a really intense quantum time. You push a button, something else comes. But if you're trying to push the buttons and go, I want to be rich, I want to have a house, I want to have more people, you know, worshipping me. If you're pushing these buttons, it might come, but it will come in a weird way. And this is probably the very last thing. Some of us have managed the art of manifestation to such a degree where it's going out of hand, it's going out to a different dimension. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good because it's not about the heart of the soul. It's just about money, is just about numbers, it's just about more, it's just about hunger and greed. And there are a few people that I've seen recently that have been, that have that in their energy. Just, I want more, I want more, I want more. And I have as well, you know, because I can have. And I've noticed that it's not actually bringing me anything because the scenery is changing and people are coming in, but it's not true. Like, it's not true, it's offbeat. It's offbeat. So the thing here is to understand the soul and the purpose, not just about attaining things that you just can have. I can have this, I can have that. It's not about the smorgasbord of life and having a little bit of everything, because of course, if you look at life as a smorgasbord and people are like, YOLO, you only live once. Okay, so if you have everything, a bit of everything on a smorgasbord, you'll get indigestion. You know, just because somebody offers you meat doesn't mean you need to eat meat. Just because somebody offers you monkey brains doesn't mean you have to have monkey brains, you know? So, what it feels to me is that we have to unclutter and decluster away from things that we think we want and get really simple. As simple as we can be. Look ourselves in the eyes. See where we have been trying to manifest and trying to evoke some kind of miracle where we had no space for one. Because very often you could be calling out for a twin, for example, and you've been so busy with things that don't fit you and knowing yourself very little that this person can just come through like almost like a passing train and then just pass you by, you know? Or for instance, like you've wanted money and financial gain so incredibly much that it comes in very quickly. Like say you get a scratchy ticket and you win it, and you go and try to claim the money and the ticket gets lost. Or worse, like the money actually comes and it is with you for a day, and then something happens with the numbers and it's just no longer in your bank, or you have no idea why it's no longer in your bank. So what I'm saying is, if you've been trying and trying and trying and pulling lots of strings in this reality, like I have as well, and you've been pulling in a lot of things from all angles and saying, I can do this, I can do that, nothing matters, I can, paint a picture and sell it, and I can travel the world, and I can be this and be that. And then there are no real values, no real soul ties with what you have. Soul ties, that's actually exactly what this is about. Soul ties. You have the girl of your dreams, you have the house of your dreams, you got the boat. There are no soul ties. Your soul doesn't need it and doesn't deserve it, but you just got it because you entered it into the machine and just out it came. There's very little soul ties with things that we have. And we have to remember that. We need to discontinue things that are no longer in our soul's escrow. And that's, I think, the very, very, very last thing here is if we are wise, and if we are loving and loyal to the things that are actually true, and where we actually feel something, and where we actually have a connection, we'll have a lot more, no matter if it looks humble to you. It doesn't matter if it looks humble to you. Because when we are humble, but at the same time, we are ready to receive something that we actually feel worth in, that's where, and that's when I feel we receive something true. And we build a life out of truth, which will eventuate into something grand. But the more we collect, oh yeah, I can go here, I can go there, I can have this person and this person, the more we're collecting things senselessly, the less we are, and the more we're not. So thank you so much for listening. If you would like to have a reading with me, let me know. I will probably be in Poland for a little while. And yes, I will put all the details below, and email me if you'd like one. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful transit. Bye.